Hey everybody, this is Mike Cook, and I'm representing Group 2 that consists of Christopher Bew, Tequila Carter, myself, Gabriel Coulter, and Maxwell Favre. And I want to go through this slideshow here, or the PowerPoint that we put together, letting you know a little bit about our marketing strategy. We chose Delta State Athletics to market, and I'll run you through these slides right quick and just kind of tell you a little bit about what where we were coming from and what we put together here. First, we've got the athletics, or the sports that are offered here. Men's and women's, obviously. You start with football and you end all the way over at diving. A lot of things in between there. Just a lot of things for the prospective student athlete to choose from. So that's a plus, excuse me, having so many people, so many different sports offered. And for our customer segments, we chose of course, the student athletes, the media, alumni, and potential donors, and local community. And we'll get into why those are important here in just a second. We'll move on to the next slide. Why would a person choose DSU athletics? Of course, one of the no-brainers is because they compete at a high level each year, and they're always competing for a championship in some form or fashion, whether it be a division title or state title or national title even. I think at Delta State has a couple of those on their books there. And local media, your sports teams always can use that media coverage positively, and the media can always, they need something to report on. So, and your alumni and your potential donors and your local communities here. Of course, your alumni are a big part of any athletics or academics for that matter. They support the school with their money and their mentorship and the networking that could serve the student athlete down the road. And of course, the potential donors, they could see DSU athletics as a good place to invest. They can always use those investments for write-offs, and of course, Delta State's fine with that because it's a win-win for both parties there. But you got to have those donors and those alumni to back your programs, just to keep them afloat a lot of times. And every good every good sports team needs a local community to be cheering for them, and especially a place like Cleveland. It's kind of, I guess, in the grand scheme, it's small compared to a lot of college cities, and it's kind of tight knit, and you get everything. You got a lot of camaraderie and networking built there in the local community, and the community needs that, and the school needs the community. So it's a want and a need for both of them. We'll move on to the next one. The next one we move to is our SWOT analysis here: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. One of the strengths is, of course, a winning tradition. Community support, diverse sports offerings, which we went over that earlier, but that's a big thing. Dedicated alumni network, and the media coverage. And DSU is, they've got really good media coverage at most of their sporting events. We'll move on to the next one here. We'll go with our weaknesses. Limited funding. This can come and go. Funding is not always there, but that is something you got to look forward to, the downside of funding. And the recruitment challenges. You've got bigger universities that have more money, and now with NIL money coming in, it could be kind of hard to compete with that, to get your target prospects for each sport. And the geographic limitations. You may have some people that are student athletes that may not want to come to the Mississippi Delta to spend 4 years or 2 years. So that can be, a weakness there. Resource allocation. The constraints, well, I guess that would exist at any university there, any sporting or any athletics program. And it definitely can hurt any sport, but much less your less popular sports. We'll move on to the opportunities part of the SWOT analysis. There's always increased digital presence. You can always, social media being the way it is, you can't even anytime you look at social media, there's so many different ways you can engage your people that follow, or prospective people that follow. Community partnerships with local businesses, organizations, and sponsorships. You can always give them visibility when they make that sponsorship, and with signs or whatever, brochures, and advertising the business that gave to the university. You can always upgrade the facilities, enhance facilities, because that does play a big part to especially an 18-year-old that comes to your campus, and say he goes to your campus and it's not as nice as University B. And a lot of times kids at that age don't look at the big picture, they look at bells and whistles. So those things can attract, talent too. Youth programs, camps and clinics are crucial, I think, for any, college town, to try to, get the kids bought in early. And plus the coaches can lay eyes on them at a young age and watch them through the years. And, you have some talent there in the hometown. A lot of times it gets overlooked. Diversity initiatives. We always want to focus on inclusivity and recruitment of diverse athletes. And that just goes without saying. You want to be able to have your department that can stand out and appeal to everybody, not just one group of people or the other one. You want everybody to be involved. We'll move on to the threats. Of course, the economic downturns. That's something you can't really foresee, but you need to be ready for it. And the donations, when the money's not there, when the economy's down, the donations obviously slow down, and the sponsorships. Of course, increased competition, and you're always going to have that. You want to be leading the pack, but sometimes you have to ramp up the game when the competition's on your toes. Changing trends in sports. Yeah, like shifts in popularity of a certain sport, that may affect attendance for the other one. That's always a threat. And of course, regulatory changes. The NCAA, they're always changing something for the, I guess the better. But sometimes it doesn't seem like that, and you always got to be ready for that. Next, we have community engagement fluctuations. That's why you want to keep your local community engaged in your program there. And I think that's something that DSU does well, and will continue to do well. Keep the backing of your community. And in conclusion, this is to our SWOT analysis. DSU Athletic Department has significant strengths and opportunities that can be leveraged to enhance its programs and community impact. However, it must address weaknesses and be mindful of potential threats to maintain its competitive edge. By focusing on strategic marketing initiatives and community engagement, the athletic department can continue to thrive and attract top talent. Next, we'll move on to our needs and features benefit, which is basically what our targeted people that we target, what we can offer them, and what they need and what we can offer them. So we'll start with the student athletes. Of course, they need, any student definitely needs academic support, much less a student athlete. There's just a lot less time for a student athlete, so they've really got to hone in and try to reach out and get all the help they can get to keep those grades up. And DSU offers study halls, one-on-one tutoring, advanced learning aids, and the coaching and training is a key. Of course, DSU offers all those things. They have great coaches, and the training and the speed and agility and the places to do so, in the facilities, which is our next customer need here. And DSU has great facilities, great equipment, and everything that an athlete needs to get the job done. And there's financial assistance also. And of course, DSU offers a lot of athletic scholarships. And then there's always a Pell Grant route you can go if students qualify. And there's also academic scholarships out there for student athletes. And we'll move on to the local media portion of it. What do they need? They need story ideas, highlights and videos, and of course live broadcast. And DSU has all those bases covered. And the story ideas would be, would come from your coach, your staff. somebody in the media department, media relations, or journalism majors could reach out to the media and let them know when there's a good story that needs to be highlighted. And the same way with the highlights and videos, your media guys and your recruiting coordinator was very important. Your scouts or your assistant coaches and the production team at the university can always reach out to the media and accommodate them with those. Live broadcast. DSU has really good live streams on most of its sports through their own live stream. Plus, there's usually a local radio or media guy. I know at baseball games anyway, they're on a live stream. So that's a pretty big deal there. Move on to the alumni and what they need. They want ways to give back to the university that they love so much and played for. And they may not need recognition, but you want to give them that because they are giving back. And the way they give back is through donations, volunteering, and mentorship programs. And these are all three of those things are crucial, for athletics department. And to give them recognition, you could always look through, reunions, any kind of speaking engagement that at dinners or any kind of events that you have. Hall of Fame inductions. I mean, it's nice to let those guys know you appreciate them for what they did for the university and the time that they were there. And the potential donors, what do they need? They need clear communication and transparency, just like all of us do when we're giving our money to a cause, or a project. The staff would need to be face-to-face and let them know this is what your money's going for. Keep them in the loop with emails and newsletters, every time you make sure they get all those things. And the transparency portion, you need clearly laid out plans of what the money's going for. This is what, we're building a new bleacher section here, and this is where your money goes. So I think that's very important to potential donors, letting them know exactly where their money's being spent, how it's going to be spent, how it will help the athletes. And last we have, the local community. What do they need? And we came up with three things here: the community engagement, local economy, and a great atmosphere. As far as the community engagement go, you can reach them through social media and try to get them engaged through that because, like I said before, social media is such a big part of everything now, especially to the younger crowds and middle-aged people like me. Community partnerships, tailgating, the camps and clinics, all those things just go hand in hand and keep the public engaged and the community bought into the university and the athletics programs. And local economy, when you have teams coming in from other places, their families traveling, especially at home games only, but the whole economy, the local economy is boosted from that. Hotels, restaurants, gas stations, everybody. The university, it's just a good thing. And then the great atmosphere, which is what we try to provide. And great teams to root for, rich history, and a winning tradition. Those are all great things, and I believe Delta State has all those. So this was our marketing plan and our strategy, and just want to get on here and let you guys tell you a little bit about it here. And thank you.